We're so glad to be in your presence tonight. We're excited about tonight, and I'm really ecstatic. I have you got Miss V, you got my crew with me. They sitting there looking mighty fine, like pure wine. And one usually they introduce stuff, and tonight I said I might as well let them speak for themselves because we got a long show tonight. So we want to get right into it, jump right in it, get our Thirsty Thursday on. So let them come to you right quick so we can get this party started.
Hey.
Hello, everybody. It's me, Tempest. I missed y'all. It's been a couple of weeks since I've been here. But I missed you guys, and I'm glad that you are here and joining in. I want you to call in tonight and chat with us as we go forth with our show. But anyway, it's me, your girl Tempest. You can find me on Facebook at Tempest Marsall. You can find me on Instagram at TB Loving God. And also I have a t-shirt brand called Strength in You Creations. You can check me out on Facebook there. I hope to hear from you all tonight.
Hi, it's me, Luanda, bubbling brown sugar at your mic. Welcome. It's a pleasure to be here on today. It's a pleasure to have you join in with us. Just come in, relax, and have a good time. And we hope to hear from you on tonight. We hope to hear your comments, see your comments live, or that you call us in at 708-223-8953. We just love to have a conversation with you on tonight.
Yes.
Come on in.
Come on in. You know, last week we were supposed. I told one I was gonna sing, but tonight I just might
do it today.
Yeah, right. Okay, I just might. But what I want to do first of all, because you know we do Thirsty Thursday, and I want to do the Thirsty Thursday first, and then we're gonna get into our to breaking up a few things, and hopefully you come in, chat with us, tell us what you think, and we can go on that. But you know, with everything that's going on, and then just to highlight everything, Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday was yesterday, and he's such a powerful image to me that I love. And I just wanted to honor him a little bit just tonight because I want to do an excerpt from one of his speeches. The speech was back in January 27, 1956. And I want to do it just briefly. I know I won't do honors like he did it, but hopefully I can just make you feel just a little bit of how it blesses me. He said one night about midnight, he settled down in bed. He was from a stressful day, and his wife Coretta had already went to bed. She had fallen asleep. His daughter was in the door next door, sleep. And he said, round about that time, he got to start to get a dozed off. And he said, and the phone rang. And he said, when the phone rang, he said on the other end was a ugly voice. And the voice said, nigga, if you don't get out of this town, we're going to blow up your house and blow your head off. And he said at that point, he got scared. But he said he had got those calls many times, but not before, 30, sometimes 40 calls per day. So he said he used to getting them. He said, but he hung up and he turned over. He thought he could go back to sleep. He said, but some reason he couldn't sleep. He said he began to walk the floor. And as he walked the floor, he thought about it. He was shaken. He was frustrated and he was filtered. And he said, finally, I got up and I went to the kitchen because I figured I'm going to get me a cup of coffee. Maybe the coffee will soothe me and I'll be able to get some rest. He said, but when he got to the kitchen and he started looking at the coffee that he had not even touched, and then he moved and he said, I started thinking about as I sat there, I thought about a beautiful wife that loved me unconditionally, was my loyalty and my friend. Thought about a beautiful daughter that every night when I come home with her bubbly joy and her gentle smile, hug and embrace me. Thought about I could be taken from them or they could be taken from me. And I thought about it. I said, I'm scared. What should I do? What should I do with this situation? And he said, I got to the point that I just couldn't take it any longer. He said, I began to weak. And something said to me, you can't call your daddy. You can't even call your mama. They're too far away. You got to call on the man that your mom and your daddy told you about. He said, that man, he said, the one that can make a way out of no way, the one that got power. He said, with my hand with my head in my hand, I bowed down over that kitchen table. And he said, I prayed. And I love when he said, and I prayed out loud.
All right.
He said, I spoke to God. And he said, and at that midnight, it's something about midnight. That between you in the night and you in the day, at midnight hour. He said, I stood at that table and I started talking to him. He said, Lord, I'm down here. I'm trying to do what's right. I think I'm right. I'm talking and I'm making a stand for what I believe is right. But Lord, I must confess I'm weak. And I'm faltering. I'm losing my courage. And I'm afraid. And I can't let the people see me afraid. Because if they see me scared and they see I don't have courage, it's going to make them afraid. It's going to make they don't have courage. He said, they going to begin to get weak. And the people are looking for me as a leader. And as a leader, I got to be strong. He said, so I'm standing here and I'm wondering, should I give up? Because I don't know if I got the power. I don't think I got nothing left. He said, I come to a point where I can't fix it no more. He said, it seemed as though he had heard a voice quiet in his soul and gave him some assurance. And he said that inner voice said, Martin Luther, stand for what's right. Stand for justice. Stand for truth. And lo, I'm going to be with you always.
Right.
Even until the end. And he said, I'm telling you, at that moment, I've seen lightning flashes. I've heard the thunder roars. He said, I've even felt sin breakers dashing, trying to conquer my soul. He said, but I've heard them cry. But Jesus said, still to fight on. He promised never to leave me nor forsake me. And he said, at that moment, I experienced a presence of the Lord that I had never experienced before in my life. And he said, almost at once, I began to say, I can go on. My uncertainty disappeared. I was ready to face anything. And he said 3 days later, his house was bombed. And an event that 3 days later would have deterred him. Because of 3 days later, he said, you can kill Martin, but the dream gonna live on. It's gonna live on. And as I sit here and I thought about Martin Luther King, and I was just quoting just a brief thing of his excerpt. And he said, everything, and I believe this to be true, has to be spiritually grounded in some essence. He said, not necessarily in religion, not necessarily in going to church, not necessarily in what you wear, how you talk, but that deep, personal, spiritual anchoring, that whatever your faith is, it gives you power to stand when you feel like giving up. And just tonight, and honoring him, and as we honor Martin Luther King and all of the things, I thought about honoring all of those who are surrounded every day with seen and unseen dangers just to protect the human race. The policemen that walk the streets and put their life on the lines. The firefighters right now that's fighting for the fire don't even know if they're going to come out it alive. The doctors and nurses that stood in the pandemic and even every day as they wait on patients and knowing that whatever they got, they could get it and even take it home. Then you look at the first responders that's coming out to be there for you when they put in their own self and don't know what is going to happen to their life, but doing it as the responder. And all of those in the military, those that did the branches and those that standing so that we can have a freedom, and some that we don't even deserve. And I wonder, when we honoring Martin Luther King and all of the peoples that it needs to be honored, is it a time when we look at each other and said, my fight is greater than fighting with you. We got a bigger fight. We've got to fight for peace, justice, just for the ones that's fighting for us. It gives you a new alternative, a new strength, a new right to say it ain't about me sometimes. It's about the fight that's greater than me. Let us stand for what's right. Let us stand for truth. And so that Martin Luther King, and not only his, the dream can still live on. We live in it. Even though they fire and they got fire in Los Angeles, there's fire right here. There's killing in the streets. There's hate. There's all kind of challenges we face in every day of our lives. And something needs to be said. Something needs to be done to say, look, put it down and pick up the word so that we can be better and stronger together. Amen.
Amen. That was
good.
that was beautiful.
Oh,
That was great.
Yes, it was.
Oh wow.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
powerful.
Thank you so much. I
That
just
was
wanted to say
powerful.
we honor him, and we don't want these dreams to die. We want to keep hope alive, keep the dream alive, and let
Wow.
and knowing that he whatever he believed and stood for, even to the point of dying, it has not been in vain.
That is
So
good.
And it's still not too late to live the
come
dream.
on.
It's not.
It's not too late to
No,
live the
it's
dream.
not.
And sometimes people think that because Martin lived the dream and he had a dream that we don't have a dream.
Come on.
It's not too late to live your dream and to fulfill it. We can't be scared of what's out here. We can't fear. Even though, like he said, he was getting weak at the time, but he took it to the source.
He took it to
And
the
he took
source.
it, and he did, and he wasn't silent about it. He took it to the source
Yes.
out loud, and that's what we have to do. We have
Oh,
to take it to the
yes.
source, take it to God, and get that strength
Yeah.
to fight some more. But we got to live our dreams. We got to.
Yeah. And it's like no matter how powerful you are, because he was a powerful man,
Yes.
right? But the fact that he told God, I'm weak. I can't do this no more. I'm
Mhm.
weak. He was trying, but he had to get to that point to where he realized, I can't do this without you, God. And he bowed down, right? He put his head in his hand, and he knew who to call on. He called on the name of Jesus
Mm.
because he knew that he know that name is the only name that he can call on that can change him. Because
Lord,
God
Temperance
said,
wanna
when you
take us to
weak,
church, huh?
when we weak, we strong, right? So we got to go there. So he went there. And that's what we have to do even on today, though. Like she said, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to talk to Jesus. If you can't talk to nobody else, you can talk to God. I might be afraid to come to you and say, hey, Miss V, you know what? I'm a little weak in these certain areas. And sometimes we be afraid to talk to others because we get judged so much by our human race. But one person we don't get judged by is the Lord. So you're right. Stand for what we do have to learn to stand for what we believe in and know that God is the one who can help us stand when we feel like we're about to fall. He gonna help you stand. And I want to say I thank you for honoring those who are out there because I'm one in that medical field. And during the COVID time, it was really scary.
Yeah.
It was scary, baby. You had to put on that whole mask. We had to do all that every day. We couldn't stay home because I need my job. I got to eat. I got to feed my family. And people needed us.
Mm.
It was a scary, scary time being out there in the forefront of it. It was very scary.
I know.
And I want to say thank you for honoring all of those who, and just like you said, those who do stuff today. Because a lot of times
Yeah, don't forget the teachers.
And don't forget the teachers. Even though, that one right there was something else though. But them teachers did their thing though. Yeah, don't forget the teachers.
So I wanted to start it off, and because thank you guys for that, and just for to just be in that and to encourage that as well. I was looking at the fact that just the other day I was looking at TV and they was interviewing one of the mayors, and the mayor was getting his eyebrows threaded. He was a man, getting his eyebrows threaded in New York, and he was. I think he was the mayor, and he was getting his eyebrows threaded, and I'm like, first of all, I didn't even know what threading was for the eyebrows, and then I asked myself, even if they do men get their eyebrows threaded?
Yeah, sometimes men do.
They do.
If they have like really, really thick eyebrows, I've seen several men get their eyebrows done.
Well, when you getting your eyebrows threaded, what are you doing?
They're arching their eyebrows, but instead of them waxing like with the wax or arching with the, plucking with the tweezer or with the razor, it's thread. So you literally taking thread and that's how they're, plucking the hair cell.
It came from another country. I can't tell you, India.
I think
India.
It's India, if I'm not mistaken.
But men that have those connecting
India.
eyebrows right here, they tend to get them waxed and pulled out and everything, and they get their hands, toes, They go to the manicure and
Manicure and
pedicure
pedicure.
way more than we do nowadays.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're about grooming themselves and making themselves look good. But I don't. Some yeah, they get it done. I'm not gonna say I don't agree with it because it's not my circumstance. Because hey, we women got chin hair, so we had to go get it off.
You show, because I had a little hair and mustache. So, ooh, let me get this out before I get on the show. Yes, I did. Oops, let me shave. We just keeping it honest.
I guess because I'm single, I don't know, but I don't know if I could appreciate a man sitting in the manicure chair with me.
Oh,
I
really?
know, I really don't. I'm like some stuff to me. It's I don't know. It just don't seem manly.
Well, I got a man, and I know he manly.
All
And
right now.
I took him.
There you go. There you go.
His nails, huh? No.
Oh, she talking about manicure,
We ain't going
pedicure.
that far. But I took him to get his feet and nails did.
Right.
Yeah, I do that so he can, so the touch can be soft.
There you go.
You know, I softened up the touch. Yeah.
So you was doing him,
Yeah,
but,
but I
it was
can
for
look
you.
at a
for
rough
her.
face. I don't care about looking at no rough face, no eyebrows. Give me something. Let me know you're a man. But you manly.
Them feet gotta have that soft touch. I know that's right. But nowadays, you see a lot of men doing pedicures. If not manicures, you definitely see a lot of men
I never
in the
see
nail
people
salon.
getting
Really?
pedicures.
Oh, yes,
Manicures, I see that just. I recently started seeing that.
honey.
The
Mhm.
pedicures, I never see a
Well,
man
don't they
sitting
need
in the
their
chair.
toenails cut down too?
I think
I
they
guess,
should.
I guess they,
Scratch up
They
the
need to
socks and
crust
scratch your
off the
legs.
feet,
up.
right? Because if you rubbing your feet up against me, I don't want you scratching my leg now with
And
your
I'm
feet.
not gonna keep
but you want
scraping your
something
toe.
you can feel, don't you?
I can feel. I
don't
want it to
wanna
be
feel
a
that.
soft feel. Right. I don't want to
Calluses and
feel
stuff.
rough feel.
I don't
Yeah.
want to feel no calluses.
Waking up at night in the morning, but how get that
But
scratch on my leg?
But you know, I just sit here and I
Cut through
just
the
wonder,
socks.
what did the old people do back in the day?
They,
When
they, you remember they got them big tub
Them
and put
basins,
put
Epsom
their
salt.
feet up in there and soak
And
their
soap.
feet. And them women were trying to get that stuff off the men's toes.
Oh, okay, so what's wrong with them doing that
And they
now?
doing it with razors. I ain't doing it.
Why do that? Why do that when you can go to a luxury place and sit in a chair that massages you while you got your feet sitting in that warm tub
They got
and
the
let
razor.
somebody else just going to work, clean that stuff off my feet, cut them nails.
And you know
Why
what?
should
That,
we do that?
that brought me up to the point, because what happened was he was on his way to going to one of the
Salon shops?
no, he was finna. He was in a salon shop and he was on his way going to a busy section of the New York where it was bad and the crime is really, really up. And the highest crime was prostitution. And one of the ladies said, and I said, I'm gonna ask the ladies on the podcast, why don't they just legalize prostitution? Because it's been around for a long time. You can't get rid of it. They legalize marijuana.
Yeah.
So if they legalize in one and you changing that, what's the difference with what's wrong with legalizing prostitution?
I feel like if you legalize prostitution, then you got to go get these sugar daddies and these sugar mamas too, because they paying for what they get. So everybody got to get a W-2 and all that other stuff and pay taxes on their sex. Nobody want to pay tax on their sex.
That's right.
And also they would take. What's the age limit? Because they do too much sex trafficking and all that other stuff.
With the young
And
ones.
so I think they would take advantage of situations like, in my opinion, they would take advantage of situations like that because most times people are just desperate for money. You know, I don't know. I just feel like if I'm a prostitute and I'm out here selling my body and making money, I don't want to get a government none because they ain't did nothing what I did. You know, they ain't did those flips and stuff. And then also, if I gotta get taxes, I'm gonna tell on Jane over there or Kelly over there because she got an older man helping her out, and I feel she doing the same thing I'm doing, just in her house. So they gotta pay taxes too.
She gonna tell on everybody. So, but I do agree. I definitely ain't trying to pay you no taxes out of this. Like, no, this is how I make my living. Right. No, they want a piece of
And
everything.
you know what? And
You
then
can't have none of this money.
once you start paying, telling the government, okay, you can, I'll tax, I get W-2, and I'll pay taxes or whatever. Guess what they're gonna do? Raise the
They're gonna
taxes.
raise the tax.
So you did an extra flip for them. That's called working overtime. No way. No.
I know. I mean, but you think about it. They legalizing everything now, and it's nothing. Nothing
true.
is off bounds.
Uh-huh.
Everything
Yeah.
just let it in. Just open the door. And I think that's where the problem came in. Whenever you put a crack, people gonna bust in.
Oh yeah.
Next thing you know, it's open.
So just so you're saying they should sign a legal document saying that I am a prostitute. I charge such and such wages or whatever. And then that means you know how many people gonna come?
They not.
Oh my God, how much business you gonna get? Can you stand the business? Tell me, y'all, should they legalize prostitution? I don't know. I don't know. Because that's open for business for real.
Well, ain't nobody making, nobody buying.
But they gonna buy because it's cheap.
Yeah, well, if they selling it anyway, so you might as well. Why don't you know?
Do you know the going price for it?
No, I don't. But
It's like $50.
Do you know the going price?
No, I'm just saying by watching TV. It's like $50 unless you high class.
Girl,
So,
$50.
Minimum wages.
Minimum wage
I
is
think
what,
they paying more than $50
an hour.
now.
You don't, how many minutes you think? Some people don't
I
take that
don't
long.
You know what? Jesus help us.
You got too much
She
information.
got information, don't she?
You know too much stuff.
But then, well, he might pay her to stay a little extra though.
No,
let me, you know, wait till I come back
Y'all
around,
let me know,
and I'll pay you a little bit more. Just hang out with me a little longer.
I just think that is I just think we just have allowed too much stuff to creep in.
We have.
That's true.
And when you start opening doors for all kinds of stuff, you're gonna get some of what you want and some of what you didn't want to.
Yeah. I just be afraid for that to be legal because of the young people and how they
we
try
was
to.
afraid for the marijuana.
Oh.
And they'll tell you quick, okay, what's the difference?
There's more older people doing marijuana.
It's a whole lot of older
I
people.
know that.
Oh my God, baby!
They say I've been doing this 40 years,
and they glad they can get that card. I need my card, my marijuana card. I need that card. They be at the doctor's office. Can you sign off on this? I need my marijuana.
We open these doors, and you open them. They come in younger and younger. So I mean, but that's why the mayor was on his way. I didn't know if he was going there to block it, stop it, or participate, but they said that's where he was going.
Y'all better not say my name. You better not say my name.
What he said, I know what they say he was going there because it's one of the roughest situations, and he was going there.
And now, what this was at in New York? In New York, okay.
I'm sorry. So he got his eyebrows arched so they wouldn't know who he was when he got there.
Yeah, and he was on his way there. Why you didn't do that after you left there?
Because he didn't want them to know. Because he been down there before. He was a little rugged when he was there before.
Well, he had to fix
it up so he don't look the same. That's just my perception of it. That's all.
You know, that situation is because they say it's the oldest profession, and so if it been that old, is I don't know. It's just
They
one
ain't
of those
gonna
situations.
legalize that, baby. They don't think that'll ever be legalized though.
They probably won't, but
No.
if it's you ask yourself, why would you have to go pay it, buy it when people are giving it away free?
And why would you pay somebody you already got a pimp? Now you got IRS, the pimpers. Why would you pay somebody to have sex?
Yeah, I don't know why
people do it all the time.
I'm talking about pay
if they legalize.
No,
why would you even pay somebody? Period.
That's what she's saying. Period.
When you've got people willing to give it to you for free.
Yeah, some people just can't get it though. I don't care.
Yeah,
some people don't.
They ain't getting it where they want to get it.
Yeah,
but my thing is, you getting it from a prostitute though. They be just standing there on the corner, like. My thing is, how can you even just go and ride past and see a prostitute and pull over and say, come on.
Yeah.
And then you gonna go home to your wife and your children. You know what I'm saying? You chancing STDs and all kinds of things. Losing your family for a quick thrill? Why don't you talk to your wife and say, honey, look, I'm not satisfied. We need to talk. I need you to do XYZ,
So if that
and
be
so you can please me. Cause
What if they keep
I'm
saying
having
no?
some thoughts. I'm going elsewhere.
But what if they study say no? I don't do that. I don't do that.
well, then
Well,
don't. Well, tell her the truth. So
that's
this
what
is
I'm
what I'm
saying.
gonna do. If you're not gonna do, and then she can weigh it up and make a conscious decision.
Be-
She can be. You can give me a right to say, you know what? All right, baby, go ahead. Or either say, no, well, if you're gonna do that, buy something.
yeah,
Don't
and
just make that decision by yourself.
That's true.
and I believe that they don't go in. Some people, some men, or women, go mess around with people that selling their body because they can keep it a secret. It ain't somebody that connected to. Now, if you go out and try to get a side chick or whatever, or a male chick or male man or whatever, you
It's gonna be
connected to
something
them.
that's
You
coming with that,
connected to
baby.
them. You putting feelings in it.
Yeah.
Now with a lady
Or
of the
prostitute.
street or whatever, you just getting your thrills off. So that's how I see it.
Yeah.
Now let me ask a question.
So
Are all prostitutes like just is it just the men who go get the prostitute? Do
with
women go out to
yep,
get the men?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, women,
How you know?
they're male
She
prostitutes.
know.
Yeah. But I think they more
It's
undercover.
male prostitutes.
There are male
Gigolos.
prostitutes, gigolos. Yeah, they're
But
male
a
prostitutes.
gigolo is more class.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
male prostitute. Have y'all seen Less Than Zero?
That's a
I've
movie.
never seen
But I'm
that.
saying people for drugs and different things, they do things that cause them to be feel like
Mhm.
less than zero. There are moments
Oh,
where
you
there
right,
are
'cause I
men
seen the show
that
like
do
that.
things for
Yeah.
what they need.
What
And
they
just like
need.
women, some women they do it as survival
Hey,
because they got to
Toya.
do what they got to do for their families, or some just got habits, or it's and some
They
people got
have
some
sexual.
people like you're a drug addict
Yeah, you're a sex addict.
yeah, you're a sex
Sex
addict.
addict. So they just get it from
It's
wherever.
all different kind of reasons
Yeah.
why. Not that I'm a doctor in these fields, but
She sound like she's something, don't she, y'all? Who is that? She said yes. Diane said yes.
Yeah, I do think. But do you? So if you, but and I want to, keep trying to move on from this. But so if you think if a woman is going out and she's doing this because she needs to feed her children, which is that still prostitution or that's still?
yeah.
What you
It
mean?
is.
Like,
It,
what
it
you
ain't.
mean?
It ain't street prostitutes. But like I said, if you saying you want to legalize street prostitution, then you need to go in the homes and legalize, make those sugar daddies and sugar mamas pay up too, because they're paying for what they want too.
But
They're
it's in the home,
It's
right?
in their home. You
Mhm.
just don't see it. So that's why it would be really hard to make that a law. Because guess what? People doing right now in their house. I don't got paid. You go home. I'll see
Yeah.
you next time. That's it. We don't got no relationship. We just doing what we do, and I please you or you please me, and you go about your separate ways.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
still the same. Sugar daddy, sugar mama.
I seen a movie like that though. They was actually running a prostitution business. Like it was like a business, like a
Organization.
bar, an organization. Then back there they had the girls, and he come in and he picked the woman he wanted, and it was a good
But
show.
that's called pimping.
Yeah, it's still
And that ain't
pimping. All of
easy.
it at the end of the day. Pimping ain't easy.
I'm gonna have to get out more.
Pimping
often.
ain't easy, baby.
I'm just talking, y'all. I'm just
I'm
talking.
Good evening,
but-
I gotta
Toya.
get out more often.
You gotta get out more
So
often.
so if all of that is it, then if that would be unfair, then how fair is child support? I mean, we go to the system, we go to the what they call it,
To the courts.
the courts,
Mhm.
and we make men's pay. And I have this friend, and this is a true story. He has a son, and the son looks like him, talk like him. He been paying child support ever since the child been born, and he found out later on, many years later, the son was not his. So if he been paying child support and you find out that the child is not yours, then what do you do then?
I personally think that the laws should be changed in that area. Whereas if you know that you've been with multiple partners and you lied and you let this go on for so many years, or you've been paying child support, I think there should be a refund on that money.
It should.
But they don't give it to you like that. You have to go through channels, and I do believe that if I'm married to, because it's when you marry to somebody and you automatically becomes that child's father, and then you find out later that my wife done stepped out on me. I think should be consequences for that, because no way I should still have to pay this lady child support or take care of this baby that's not mine, and you done cheated on me. Now I'm getting double whammies. That's not even fair to no man at all.
Yeah.
And that cannot even happen to a woman because of the simple fact that he's not carrying the baby. But it happened to men all the time in marriages, in committed relationships, that you have this child and they grow up, you loving on them, and you find out this is somebody else's baby. Somebody come out of jail somewhere, from over in Korea somewhere, and come and say that's my baby, and then prove it's their baby. That's not fair. I think the law should change.
Then there are some that get child support, and then they don't even allow the father to even see them.
Yeah, I know some people going
but
through
see
that
that's
right now.
and that I think that's something you definitely have to fight in court for, though. You got to go to court for that. But I'm gonna say one thing about child support. What I've noticed from people I know who have received child support or was trying to receive child support, sometimes you go through all of this to try to find these boogers to make them pay when you know that they the daddy, and they don't find them. And it's like, just say they done been locked up. You know they locked up. How you ain't find him and swab him and all this and that? Like, I feel like sometimes they let these people get away too. And then I feel like sometimes when you get to child support, it really don't be worth it. You take more, the state or city or whoever, they take more out of these men's checks, but the family don't get that much. So what are they doing? What is the state doing with that money? Why don't you take whatever you're taking from that parent? Why don't the kid get that money?
So this is, I've never gotten child support.
Yeah.
So when they go to the court, they get paid too for you having to pay your child.
I don't know how it works, but the system takes money.
Your child, if you had a child that's on medical, had a medical card or use the state facilities, that money, they getting that money off the top, and they gonna give you what's left over. They gonna give you you might be paying 200 and the mother getting 10.
Right.
So I feel like that is even a waste.
Yeah, it is definitely a waste.
But they're gonna make that father pay. They're gonna make that father. The passports, everything is going to be taken away. I do think that the government needs to look into the child support laws, and I'm not saying mothers shouldn't get nothing for their children, or fathers who's raising their kids shouldn't get nothing. I'm saying that the laws should be different. It should be equal. It is
fair.
Not equal. It is not fair at all. And you said that about the children, the people that's paying child support, and they can't see their kids need to go to court. But what about you going to court, paying all this money, and they still taking child support? You run out of funds, and you still don't see your children.
You still don't see your kids.
That means you're paying double the money to try to get your kids, and you still can't see your kids. And then if you're paying double the money, going to court, paying child support, and your kid calls and say, "Dad, I need something for Christmas. Dad, I need a pair of shoes." Do that dad supposed to say no? No, they still gonna say yeah. Right. So I'm
supposing he got multiple children.
Thank you. And that's multiple money.
Got multiple money. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not fair.
So he'll never ever rise, or he'll never.
Not until he's done paying child support.
Never come up. And some kids be 40 years old,
girl,
living in your house or got their own, and still you paying child support for them. You paying retro.
I don't know. That's why I say some of this stuff. I don't know. I didn't
Have
get
any of you all ever paid child support? What do you think? Do you think child support is fair? Do you think that if you what do you think should happen if you raise a kid and they come up to age and you find out that they're not yours and you've been paying child support for 20 years, and then they not yours, because now it's like till they graduate from college and stuff. They can be on there to 26, I think.
Oh,
or 20
wow.
Yeah. What do you think?
What y'all think out there in radio land?
Help us out over here.
Call us and talk to us here at 708-223-8953. Call and chat with us here at the Miss Vee and the Crew podcast.
Yes.
I like how you say that.
Yes, that's beautiful.
This is one of the podcasts where we got a little bit of everybody. Wanda, she makes sure that our technical, she says she ain't technical, but she works all the technical
Yes, she
stuff.
do, baby. She
You're doing
good
a
at
really
it.
good job at it.
You do a
Yeah.
really good job. I'm so
You
grateful for you.
yeah, I told you,
They
you
fucking
got to
is.
get you some more training so you could be a little bit better.
Mhm.
But you
Yeah, she cause she holds us down, y'all. She holds us down.
you doing too good to stop. So ain't no need of you just stopping and quitting. You got to get that right.
Keep it going.
And that's why. And then she makes sure that we do our PR. She keeps the public and keeps everybody knowing who we are, where we at, and what we talking about. I was
Yeah.
actually talking to one of the owners today, and it was a really blessed conversation because he was sharing with me and telling me about the fact that we're here to make a difference,
Yes,
not
we
to
do.
make money. And everybody need money because he said money answers everything. But to know that you are in a position with people that's not doing it just for money. They're doing it because they want to make a difference. They want to be a light to the community. They wants to be knowledge that somebody can grow. And the people that come here have a platform to share knowledge, share wisdom, and to grow. So I was touched by that, and I was I felt good about hearing that, to know that everybody is not in it for the
For the
money.
money. Yeah.
They in it to make a difference. And I appreciate that conversation. Uh,
Thank you.
one of the things that I was appreciative to, and this is aside from all the stuff, because I told you we got tons of things to talk about, and I don't want to just overwhelm everybody, but there was a child, and they is not talking to his parents because he found out that he was adopted, and he figured that the
Oh
parents
wow.
has didn't give him the chance to at least tell him. And then I was saying to myself, well, I was wondering to the ladies, do you think that if you adopted somebody, do you think that you should tell them, or you think that what's the use of telling them and stirring up stuff? And if you decide to tell them, how old do you think they do? How old do you think a person is an old enough to accept that type of truth? Or do you think that's something that you ought to take to the grave with you?
I think you should tell them. I have a sister who we adopted, and my mother did tell her at an early age. Now, when my mother told her, she was way younger, and I did say, "Why you tell her that?" But then after we talked about it, and then you sit and you think about it, I think it's good for them to know. I feel like at an early age, because one thing about it, we know what
When
they
you
say.
say early age, what is that?
I can't remember her age.
No, I'm just saying
Okay.
for your sister. But
I
if
would
you
say
was,
I don't know, maybe at least once the child get old enough to maybe comprehend,
and
maybe
how
say
old is
like
that? Some
I would say 12, maybe 11,
some
12.
some comprehend at 12,
Teen
some don't comprehend at
maybe
18.
yeah, but no, not 5. Maybe 10, 11, 12, like up in those years. I think you could sit down and talk to the kid cuz one thing about it is family, they say people can't hold water. People can't hold water because so if the family knows, somebody gonna eventually slip up and say something. I would prefer for that parent who adopted me to sit down, that family sit down and talk to me and let me know that I was adopted and this is this or whatever, that me find out later from somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And then when I find out from somebody else, I'm gonna be heartbroken because it's like, wow, why all these years you've been raising me and never tell me nothing? Or the opposite can happen, that biological parent can come looking for their child. Nowadays you can Google stuff, a person's name, and find their whole address, phone number, the people they related to, where they live, where they used to live. You can find everything.
That's true.
I would prefer to be told.
But I agree. I think we should tell them early. I mean, as early as they can understand. In my opinion, is because once you start recognizing my hairline, like my mom, or who do I look like? Sometimes little children have those questions, and I would, as a mother, I would say, well, I probably didn't. Mommy didn't have you in my belly,
Right.
but mommy loved you just like you did. I would start molding them to understand that this is, that you adopted. But I won't go out and say you adopted like that. But
Right.
I would let them know, because sometimes kids be saying, Mom, did I come like that? Or no, you came from the stork. No, I'm just kidding. No, but I would try to let them know as early as possible. That way, when they're in school and then maybe they need blood or they
There you
get
go.
sick,
There you
they
go.
understand that, well, I can only do so much.
Yeah.
Because these kids nowadays, the younger babies, they understand a lot, they know a lot.
Yes, they do.
And then what happens to the babies that's adopted from a different race? They got to recognize early on that
Right.
they don't have the same color,
Right.
they don't have the same hair texture. So do you wait till they older to tell them? No, I think you should just mold them in a way
You tell
of
them who the
knowing
parent is.
who.
You tell them who the parent is, or you share that if they
Uh,
want to know, or you let them know when you telling them, when
no,
you disclosing it.
I won't tell them who the parent is. That's something that they will have to know, want to know. And now sometimes when people are adopted, the parents don't want the kids to know who they are, right? So I mean, because they gave them away. I don't think sometimes they don't want the child to know who they are, but I would tell them if they ask me, I won't lie to them,
That's it.
but I won't just offer up that
Automatically.
information.
Yeah.
I'll tell them about them being adopted. But if they ask me and I have that type of information, or I know the agency at a certain age, though, I wouldn't tell them the agency and all that at a young age, because you got to be mentally ready for all of that.
Yes.
But I will share that with them, because
Yeah.
I could die today or tomorrow, and they need to know where they came
That's
from and who
right.
they are and all that other stuff. So I just feel like, yeah, we need to tell them.
Yeah, they need to know. I think
One
they
of the
have a
young
right to know.
ladies that one of the young ladies.
I'm sorry.
No,
You
no, go
gotta
ahead.
come. You gotta come in.
Bella said that she feel like telling the child early is important, especially if the child is a different race or heritage from you. As a parent of a child of a different race, you should be encouraging them to explore. She said you should encourage them to explore and to know that they are adopted. They could have something from that birth parent.
That's right.
Yeah.
And Miss Diane said, yeah, you should. She said, yeah, you should tell them earlier. You
There
should
was,
tell them earlier.
I know a couple ladies, and they were not adopted, but they never knew who their father were, and it's different, but it still leaves them with the wondering of who he was. What it's like a part of them is missing, and
Mm.
up one of the ladies was even in her 60s,
Mm.
60s, and she was still hungering
For her father.
for that father.
Wow.
And then one of them, found her father. But
Wow.
just to think that they all these many years that part of their life
You don't know.
they didn't know. So I mean, anything that, and a lot of this, mothers are doing it. They're cheating. They're and I don't know what the reason they didn't do it. Maybe the father was, whatever the case may be, but it wasn't the child's fault. And when we make decisions like that, there's going to be some consequences and,
Yes.
repercussions
Yeah.
behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody ought to have to live the rest of their life. Now, my father is the father of all seven of us, so we knew him. And somebody said, "Well, Daddy, if somebody come up and ask you, you got another child, bring them here because they lying." So it's something when you know, this is where I belong, even if I didn't even like him or whatever. Children deserve to know the truth.
That's a good one. That's good, even if I didn't like them. And that's the thing too. Even if the parents don't get along,
Exactly.
don't keep that child away from that absent parent, because you never know what that child is psychologically going through
Right.
because of the absence of that parent. So we have to be careful, because a lot of times in relationships, like I said, you're into it and you feel, oh, I'm gonna stop you from seeing the kid, this and that. I don't think people should do that. I think that allow that parent to still see that child, because we're not hurting that man or that woman. We're hurting that child, and that child will grow up eventually resenting you for keeping them away from that missing parent. So we got to be careful in those things we do when it comes to these children.
And we can look at the male or the female like, oh, they ain't no good. They drug out. They mistreated me. And,
Hey,
and so we
Denise.
want to hurt them in such a way as to take the child away, or say they don't have enough money. But love don't cost money.
That's it.
Love don't cost anything. Just allow them to love on the kid. Because guess what? When they grow older, they'll say, "You kept me away from my parent. You kept me away from my dad or my mom," and that's not right. And they begin to, like you said, resent that other parent. It's just not fair. I feel like it. Like if they don't want to be in a child's life, that's different. I'm not going to force my child on you, because then I don't want my child to get mistreated in your presence. So I'm not going to just go to your doorstep like some parents do and drop my baby off at your doorstep knowing that you don't want them. No, love is an action. You want to come get them. You want to make them feel involved in your life and stuff like that. So yeah, I just think it's wrong when we use our children as pawns in our relationships.
We do.
And then another, I like what you said, and too, and to kind of turn it around, we got to be careful too. Is if you, like, say for instance, you with somebody, you guys don't live together, you want to drop the kid off at the absentee parent house, and that child says, "I don't want to go. I don't want to go." Don't force that child to go, because evidently it's something that child is feeling that makes them say, I don't want to go. I don't want to be over there. I don't want. So we have to learn to listen to our children as well, because they be telling us certain things without telling us, because they don't know how to fully, talk about it, but they saying something when they say, I don't want to go, or they crying and all of this.
A lot of mothers, because I can speak from experience, because I know one time mine said they didn't want to go. I dropped them off. And I can speak for a lot of mothers. Do we make mistakes? Yes.
Yes, we do.
We do.
We do.
And a lot of mothers, a lot of times, they can judge you and tell you about what you ain't doing, what you could be, ends meet, trying to feed, trying to care, trying to shelter, trying to go get jobs, and you standing behind a barrel, drinking and smoking. No, I'm gonna show you how it feels. Drop them off over there. Now you figure out how you gonna go get a babysitter, how you gonna go to a job, how you gonna fight in men and make ends meet. No, it's not an easy task. And sometimes people can talk that talk, but it's good. It's another one to walk the walk.
Oh yeah.
And sometimes boss sense is your best sense. I'm gonna show you better than I can tell you. Yeah, the kids didn't like
Boss
it.
sense, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna show you some sense. You come because your kids. They only see one side sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes you have to say, no, you think I'm bad? You think you got it bad? You think you're the only one going through something? You think you're the only one suffering? I'm going to show you what suffering really is.
Yeah.
And maybe it's not the best way to handle it. Maybe not the best decision. But every now and then, mothers is between a rock and a hard place. And sometimes you got to show them. Just like they showing you, I'm going to show you.
That's true.
It's not easy. And when you get up and become a parent and you come face to face with reality, come face to face with bills and all kind of trying to make a decision. And at that moment, at that single moment, and I can say this and we can get ready to close. At a single moment, I even now, every time because a lot of stuff I wish I would have done different. But now I look in the mirror and I pat myself on the back.
That's right.
What you had at that time, what you had to work with, the things you had to work with, the limited resources you had. Pat yourself on the back and say, girl, you did a good job.
You did a good job.
Did a good job.
I'm telling you.
And you know what? We need to pat ourselves on the back more often, because a lot of times we don't. It kind of talked about
all we can do is think
we
about
gotta
the stuff
pat
we got
ourselves
wrong.
on our back. That's
all the mistakes that we made.
Yes.
All the I's we didn't dot and all the T's we didn't cross.
Come on.
But at that time, with all that, with what you had, you didn't have no job making a lot of money. You didn't have no car. You was catching buses 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Oh, and falling in the street hole on Roosevelt Road.
That's what you did.
And you and it said, but I made it.
I made it.
And then now you say, how I pat yourself.
Well,
I'm gonna
pat myself.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you have to. You got
pat us up. Pat each other. Wanda, we pat you on the back over.
You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes we lose focus. You know, you looking at a now story. But yeah, sometimes you got to take a retrospect. It wasn't always like this. I didn't already have a clear mind of what to do. Sometimes I was just picking in pieces as I go.
That's what we did.
And I was scraping. And so now that I can see back, yeah, I should have done that different. Yeah, I should have did that different.
I
But now,
wish I hadn't done that.
Yeah.
They good. They grown now.
So now you look at it and say, well, you got a chance.
That's it. You do better.
They should do better.
You do better. That's it.
I messed up. Now you showed me when you get yours and they telling you what you didn't do and what you could do and how you should have done it. Now you got a chance. Do it.
I'm gonna sit back and babysit while you figure it
While
out.
you
Figure it
figure it
out.
out, right? Your turn now. I did bad. I raised you.
Yeah.
I did the best I could.
Yeah, I mean,
Forgive me for what I did wrong.
I didn't mean to even go that
Hey,
far, but I
that's
promise
all right.
you, we gonna on our last note, I'm gonna I got one verse, I'm gonna sing it, and then I know somebody saying, girl, please don't you
Sing, Miss B.
No,
Sing it.
no, I want y'all to say y'all last thing because we gonna sing this out. One to gonna play the music as we going out on this. I'm gonna do just I said one verse.
One verse.
Maybe
But,
two.
No, I ain't gonna do two.
Okay.
But say what you gotta say.
I just want to say thank you all for joining us on tonight. I truly appreciate you out there for listening. And just want to tell you all to be encouraged and know that if you did some things wrong back in your past, or if you made some mistakes, learn to forgive yourself and move on. Forgive yourself and move on, and know that tomorrow is a better day. Okay? And I love you all.
Yeah, I just want to give you a recap. We want to find out if prostitution should be legalized. Should it be legalized? Is child support fair? Is child support fair? These questions that stand on my mind. And then if you have a baby and you raise them to 18 years old, should you and you find out it's not yours, should you get a refund? Can the government change? Just think about these things. If you're a barrier breaker, stop breaking barriers and finding out answers to these questions that I have. I love you all, and I just pray you have a blessed night.
Answer her questions, y'all.
Amen. I like that. Too close to the mirror to see what you see. While you shower down your blessings on me.
Yeah.
It's not anything I done, Lord, as far as I can see. Guess I'm too close to the mirror to see what you see in me.
All right.
Hey.
When I thought about giving up, you said trust in me. If you hold on and don't faint, keep your faith in me.
All right now.
Lord, you don't see me like I am. You see me like I'm gonna be. So I believe I'll hold on. I got to see what the end's gonna be. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Close to the mirror.
Yeah.
See what you see. While you shower down your blessings on me.
All right.
It's not anything I've done, Lord, as far as I can see. I'm too close to the mirror. Too close to the mirror. Too close to the mirror. Too close to the mirror to see what you see in me.
So step back from the mirror, y'all.
That's it.
Have a blessed night.
That's it. He sees something in you. We love y'all. Bye.
What are you doing?